Whispers from the margins, EQ rituals and stories that rewrite the algorithm. The threshold of transformation. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly, exhale fully. This is not just a video. This is a portal, a pause, a protected space. You are not here to scroll. You are here to remember. Remember that power often lives in silence, in ritual, in margins. Today, we walk beside quiet revolutionaries who breathe with intention, love with strategy, and rise from roots others tried to bury. Mantra, whisper. I breathe from truth. I listen from stillness. I rise from the roots. Repeat with me. I breathe from truth. I listen from stillness. I rise from the roots. Pray together. I breathe from truth. I listen from stillness. I rise from the roots. Mean it. I breathe from truth. I listen from stillness. I rise from the roots. A ritual for the nervous system. Place your right hand over your heart. Let your left hand cradle your belly. Inhale through your nose for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale softly for 6. Again, you are rewiring your nervous system. You are telling your brain, I am not in danger, I am arriving. Scientific insight. According to a 2018 study from Harvard Medical School, conscious breathing reduces activity in the amygdala by 40%, restoring executive function and promoting emotional clarity. Reflection. Prompt. What part of you has waited a long time to be heard? Whisper it aloud, or write it, then breathe into that truth. Poetic echo. Your breath is a declaration of presence, your exhale, a revolution against rush. Our first story today is the one Zuleika and her stillness rising. Harlem, candles in a studio, Zuleika in head wrap leading teens through breathwork. Zuleika arrived in New York with nothing but breath. A Somali-Kenyan refugee, she crossed oceans with no suitcase, no citizenship, and no shared tongue, only the quiet, unwavering rhythm of her lungs. In her earliest nights in the shelter, while others prayed or wept, she sat still. She listened, and slowly the stillness began to call others in. First, it was 2 women in Central Park, then 5, then a small gathering under the elm trees wrapped in borrowed scarves, sitting on old picnic mats. They said nothing. They just breathed together, one breath, one beat. Shared silence stitched a fragile kind of safety. Then came the shelters. Then came the schools. Word moved faster than her feet. By 2023, her grassroots nonprofit, Stillness Rising, had touched lives across 11 countries. Teenage girls from Nairobi to Naples had learned to meet fear with breath, to meet chaos with presence. In one program, reported anxiety dropped by 92%. School attendance rose by 67%. Quote from Zuleika: apps, microphones, or hashtags. Her curriculum came from her grandmother's hands, the way she'd press a palm to a crying child's chest at dusk. The soft ritual of holding silence as prayer, the wisdom of pausing before response. Each girl who came to her circle was asked only one thing: close your eyes, place a hand on your heart. Breathe, not just to survive, but to remember. To remember that stillness is not absence, it is architecture. That silence is not weakness, it is inheritance. That breath, when shared, becomes a bridge across every border. And as they exhaled in unison, the algorithm trembled, because presence, not panic, was now the most powerful data in the room. Quote from Zuleika: "They told me I brought nothing, but I carried the one thing that changes everything: stillness." Zuleika teaches EQ strategies. Name your emotion, locate it in the body, breathe into it. Don't fix, befriend. We learn from Zuleika her cultural insight. In Somali oral tradition, wisdom is passed in breath. Stillness is seen as strength, not stagnation. Zuleika's stories echoes. Stillness is not an absence. It is the space where futures begin to sing. Our AIQ wisdom today is about algorithmic compassion and shaping attention. Every scroll is a vote. Every like is a whisper to the algorithm, more of this. But what if we voted with compassion? What if we designed our feed to serve presence, not panic? Listen, this is proven. NYU Center for Human Attention, 2021. Dopamine surges from unpredictable content reduce sustained focus by up to 60%. Algorithmic overexposure is linked to chronic stress and emotional volatility. Our Change Academy's sustainable strategy: curate your timeline weekly. Follow 5 accounts that restore your attention. Mute 3 that spike your anxiety. Use apps like Freedom or OneSec to create mindful delays. Ask yourself loudly and honestly, what kind of content makes your nervous system feel loved? Our second story for contemporary wisdom is the one of Mateo and his ritmo interior. In the highlands of Oaxaca, where the sky leans low and the earth hums with ancestral breath, Mateo lived between silence and struggle. A child of the streets, he scavenged for bottles by day and poems by night, scribbled on scraps of cardboard under the flickering rhythm of candlelight. At 15, he was gifted a broken laptop from a passing volunteer. No charger, no Wi-Fi, just rusted keys and a heartbeat of hope. Mateo carried it like a talisman. He bartered onions for battery life and discovered a library of open-source materials at a public kiosk. Among them, emotional intelligence curricula, audio clips of drumming therapy, poetry by Neruda, and code to build stories from sound. By 17, he had founded Ritmo Interior, a grassroots EQ collective where local teens learn to weave indigenous Zapotec rhythms with poetic expression and digital storytelling. In their gatherings, they drummed before decisions, they wrote before reacting, they coded without losing the cadence of their roots. In 2024, Mateo and his cohort were invited to UNESCO to present their model, Tech with Soul, Rhythm with Reason. His work showed a 70% reduction in school dropouts, a 55% increase in community mediation instead of conflict. He tells each new member the same words: before you speak, let your hands speak. Drum, breathe, feel the weight of your name in your chest. His ritual is simple: a minute of rhythm, a page of poetry, a pause long enough for truth to find a voice. Mateo never went viral, but he did go vital. Where others waited for permission, he built a platform. Where algorithms once ignored them, they taught it to dance. Because in Oaxaca's hills they learned, you don't need noise to change the world. You just need rhythm and one child who believes. Change Academy's Sustainable Strategy Suite. What makes change last? The answer is in rhythm. Here are 6 strategies you can start today. Micro meditation, moments, 3x a day, 60 seconds of breath. Digital rest days, 1 day offline per week. EQ mapping journals. Track feeling, trigger, need, response. AIQ self-coaching. Ask ChatGPT or another tool. What would the wise version of me do here? Contribute to the narrative for justice. Share one story per month from someone you know thriving in silence. Think and share your feedback in rituals or weekly reflections with friends. What moved you this week? What do you need more of? Call your inner workout. The world is watching chaos, but we are building coherence. Algorithms respond to patterns. Let us give them a pattern of peace, of presence, of powerful transformation. Our closing mantra, whisper with me. I am not the noise, I am the note. I am not the feed, I am the field. I am not the content, I am the creator. Subscribe.